Hello students, so welcome to another session with Navin sir. So lecture 3 of motion in a straight line. So in lecture 1 and 2 we completed some concept related to the motion in a straight line. In the same way we also discussed the different types of speeds. In the same way how to find out the average speed and some applications also we studied in the last lectures. So in this lecture we are going to discuss about acceleration, and we are also going to derive the equations of motion and their importance we are going to study in lecture 3. So let us begin the session. So we know that already when the object is moving from one point to another point, what will happen? Its velocity is going to be changed. So with respect to time, suppose the object is moving with initial velocity u equals to 10 meter per second. After some time its velocity becomes 40 meter per second in a time interval of 4 seconds. So if the change in position or if there is a change in displacement with respect to the time, we are going to write as instantaneous velocity as ds by dt. In similar manner, if you want to find out the total speed or velocity along a straight line, we are using the formula total displacement by total time taken. Is it in the similar manner? If there is a change in position if there is a change in velocity with respect to the time, we are going to measure in terms of its acceleration. So acceleration gives the information about how fast the velocity of an object will changes. Okay, so here velocity we can write acceleration we can write change in velocity by time taken. What is change in velocity? So final velocity v minus initial velocity by time taken is t. So a is equals to v minus u by t. So similar to that, whatever the types of speeds we discussed, and here also we are going to discuss about different types of accelerations. So what are they? One is instantaneous acceleration. So instantaneous means at that particular time whatever the value or magnitude of the quantity is known to be instantaneous. So instantaneous acceleration is the acceleration of a particle at particular instant of time is known to be instantaneous acceleration. So we can write instantaneous acceleration as dv by dt, rate of change of velocity gives instantaneous acceleration, or we can also write it is the limit of delta v by delta t, change in velocity with respect to the time when time interval approaches to 0. So that acceleration is known to be instantaneous acceleration. And next, average acceleration. So average acceleration is nothing but it is the ratio between total change in velocity delta v by delta t. So net change in velocity by total time taken is known to be average velocity. And the other is uniform acceleration. What is mean by uniform? Remains same. What remains same here? So acceleration is going to remain same entire its journey. So that kind of acceleration is known to be uniform acceleration. That means if the object is moving with a constant acceleration, then its acceleration is known to be uniform acceleration, and its motion is known to be uniform accelerating motion. That means the change in velocity is same in equal interval of time. So for example, let us take one example. So 0 to 1 second, it's a change in for 1 second starts from 10 meter, and here 20 meter per second, and then 1 to 2 here 30 meter per second, and 2 for suppose I am taking the time interval velocity 2 to 3 is 40. If you observe this, the change in time interval is 1 second, but what is the change in velocity in each 1 second? In each time interval of 1 second, the change in velocity will be delta v is 10 meter per second. That means if the change in velocity is equal in equal interval of time, then the acceleration is constant, then that kind of acceleration is known to be uniform acceleration. And the last one is non-uniform acceleration. What is mean by non-uniform? It do not remain same. So what do not remain same? The acceleration is not constant in its journey, so that kind of accelerations are known to be non-uniform acceleration. So these are the different types of acceleration. So when the object is moving from one point to another point, or if the velocity of an object changes with respect to the time. Sir, what about unit of this? So unit of all types of accelerations will be same. So we know that acceleration is nothing but what? Velocity by time. So what is the unit of velocity? Unit of velocity is meter per second, and unit of time taken is second. So we are going to get, so unit of acceleration as meter per second square. And what about its CGS unit? CGS unit will be centimeter per second square. And dimensional formula, what is its dimensional formula? Per meter L and time t square. So we are going to get, so LT power minus 2 is the dimension formula of acceleration. Then sir, what about its nature? That means whether it is scalar quantity or vector quantity. So acceleration is a vector quantity. So acceleration is a vector quantity. So when the acceleration is changing, definitely we should approach with the vector analysis. Okay, right. Next, let us discuss about some applications related to this. Let us imagine an object is moving along the positive x-axis. So this is an application and a point which helps to identify whether the speed increasing or decreasing. I am considering the object is moving along the positive x-axis. If its velocity v direction of velocity and direction of acceleration both are in the same direction, then the speed or velocity of an object increases. So this helps to identify whether the object is speeding up or whether it will be slowed down. So when it will be speeding up nothing but increasing velocity. So when it will be it has an increasing velocity when both acceleration and velocity are in the same direction. Sir, if they are moving in negative direction, but suppose object is moving along the negative x-axis. So if it is moving along the negative x-axis, again the acceleration and velocity vectors both are in the same direction. In this case also velocity increases, the object is speeding up. Okay now, so we are going to confirm one point here. If the direction of acceleration and velocity are in same, then the object is said to be moving with increasing velocity, or the object is speeding up. Right, next, for suppose object is moving along positive x-axis, so but the direction of acceleration is opposite to direction of velocity. That means here a is greater than 0 but v is less than 0, and here you see here a greater than 0, v greater than 0. Why you are taking greater than 0? Because the both are in the positive direction, that's why increasing, they are greater than 0 only, and here both are less than a less than 0, v less than 0. If both are greater than 0 or less than 0, the velocity increasing. But here what happens, one is increasing, another one is decreasing, then we can say velocity of an object will decreases. That means slowly the velocity of an object is going to be reduced, finally it is coming into the rest. Now for suppose if the direction of velocity in positive x-axis and the direction of acceleration along negative x-axis, in this case also same, the velocity of an object is going to be decreases. Okay, in this way, with the help of the directions of acceleration and velocity, we are going to confirm whether the object is speeding up or slow down. And let us take one example here. A car is moving with initial velocity 20 meter per second. After some time, its velocity becomes 80 meter per second. Here the time interval is given as 10 seconds. Then after reaching to the 80 meter per second, the driver applies the brakes on it. So due to application of the brakes, the speed of the car reduces to 40 meter per second. So time interval is here for suppose 4 seconds, let us take. Right, in this case they are asking from 0 to 10 seconds find its acceleration, from 10 to 14 seconds find its acceleration. Let us find. So from, I am giving some points here, A to B and B to C. I am finding the acceleration from A to B. So A to B. So we need to find acceleration, that is final velocity minus initial velocity by time taken. So what is final velocity at B? Whatever the velocity is final velocity. At A, initial velocity is 20. So by 10. So 60 by 10. So acceleration is 6 meter per second square is acceleration of the body in T2. So T equals to 0 to 10 seconds. Now in this next part, what is the next part? From B to C. So from B to C, what is the final velocity? V is 40 and U is 80 meter per second for this journey. Let us find out acceleration. A is equals to V minus U by T. 40 minus 80 by 4, that is minus 40 by 4. We are going to get minus 10 meter per second square. So what is the meaning of this? Acceleration is negative. So that means acceleration is negative, the object is slowly decreasing its velocity. If a velocity is decreasing, we are getting the negative acceleration. That means both are in opposite direction. Okay now, so acceleration and velocity directions are opposite to each other. Just now we discussed the case. Okay, sir, what is this negative acceleration? This negative acceleration is known to be deceleration, or it is also known to be retardation. So the negative acceleration of an object is known to be deceleration or retardation, and whatever the unit of this is similar to the unit of acceleration, that is meter per second square. Only the sense, the negative acceleration is called as deceleration. Everything will be same. Acceleration is nothing but what? Increasing velocity. Deceleration nothing but what? Decreasing velocity. When the velocity reduces with respect to the time, it is known to be deceleration of an object. Okay, let us take one more application here. Let us imagine if an object accelerates with a1 till t1 seconds, and then it accelerates a2 in time t2. Then they are asking what is average acceleration. So average acceleration, a bar is equals to a1 t1 plus a2 t2 by a1 plus a2 sorry t1 plus t2 is the formula for average acceleration. So in this way we are going to find its average acceleration if it is accelerating with a1 in t1 second and a2 in t2 seconds. We are going to get its acceleration as a1 t1 plus a2 t2 by t1 plus t2. Right, let us discuss about the equations of motion. So already in lower classes we are aware of this. So what are equations of motion? So equations of motion are simply they are known to be kinematic equations. So kinematic equations. Sir, what is the use of these equations of motion? The equations of motion helps to study the motion of an object. So here one condition should be there to use these equations of motion. So what is the condition? Object motion should travels with object should have what kind of acceleration? Uniform acceleration. That means the object from starting its journey until its journey will complete it has to move with the same acceleration. That means it's a constant acceleration for uniform accelerating motion. For uniform accelerating motion only we are going to apply these equations of motion. Now we are going to derive these equations of motion in like equating form. In the same way by using integration also we are going to derive the equations of motion. So in fast manner we are going to discuss this. So derivations of equations of motion. Let us consider an object is moving with initial velocity u and final velocity v in time interval t. It covers a distance of s and moving with uniform acceleration a. So here the terms, general terms only, u is initial velocity, s is the distance or displacement, because in a straight line motion distance equals to displacement. What is a? A is nothing but uniform acceleration, v is final velocity and t is time for the journey. Okay, so in this journey we are going to find what are the final velocities and what are the distance traveled, right? So we know that acceleration is equal to what? V minus u by t, change in velocity by time taken. So final velocity minus initial velocity, cross multiply this, at is equals to v minus u, therefore v equals to u plus at. So this is the first equation of motion. Sir, when this formula will be useful? So if initial velocity, acceleration and time are known, to find final velocity we are using this. Otherwise if any one of the quantity is missed in this, we are going to use that quantity by using this expression. So let us give it as number 1. Right, let us discuss the equation number 2. So before going to discuss about equation number 2, let us find out its average speed. So what is the formula for average speed? Average speed is equals to final velocity plus initial velocity by 2. We can write, so v bar is equals to speed nothing but here velocity only, because we are discussing about objects which are moving in a straight line. So we are going to get u plus v by 2. Now we are going to write the formula for distance traveled. So distance traveled in time t, s is equals to, we can write average speed into time taken. Why? Because speed is equals to v equals to distance by time. Therefore distance is equals to speed into time we can write. I am using that formula here. So distance or displacement traveled by the body v bar into t. So average velocity u plus v by 2 into t. So from equation number 1, in the place of v we can substitute u plus at. So from 1 we are going to write v as u plus at. Let us substitute here. So s is equals to u plus at by 2 into t. So multiply and separate the denominator. We are going to get u plus u 2ut by 2 plus 1 by 2 at square. So 2 get cancelled. Therefore the distance travelled by the body in a time interval t, we are going to get ut plus of at square. This is second equation of motion. Okay, so it helps to find out the distance travelled by the body without knowing the final velocity. With the help of initial velocity, acceleration and time, we are going to find the distance travelled by the body in a given time interval. This is second equation of motion. Right, let us move to the third equation of motion. So third equation of motion, if we don't know the values of time, if the time interval is not given, how to find out the relation between the quantities we are going to find. So we know that distance travelled, so distance travelled we can write s is equals to average velocity into time taken. So average velocity we know that u plus v by 2. Now we don't have the information about the time for the journey. So we have only initial velocity, final velocity, that's it, and acceleration. So then how to find out the distance? So from equation number 1, from first equation of motion, we can write v is equals to u plus at. From that we are going to write v minus u equals to at. Our aim is to write t term. So v minus u by a, let us substitute this in the place of t. So s is equals to u plus v by 2 into v minus u by a. It is in the format of a plus b into a minus b. We are going to get v square minus u square by 2a. Therefore s is equal to as equals to v square minus u square. So this gives the information about the relations of final velocity, initial velocity, distance traveled when time is unknown. So when time is unknown, we can, with the help of this third equation of motion, so we are going to find out any one of the missed quantity in the given problem. Right, one more equation is there, that is fourth equation of motion. So fourth equation of motion, sir, what is this fourth equation of motion? Let us discuss. So this fourth equation of motion helps to find distance covered by body in a unit time, or in nth second we are going to find its distance. Sir, what is the meaning of this nth second, or what is the meaning of this unit time? Let us understand this first. Let us imagine the object is moving from A to B. The time interval is 0 to 10. So if the total time is given, for suppose 10 seconds is given, the object is moving with acceleration a and with initial velocity u, attains the final velocity v with uniform acceleration a. Then to find the total distance in 10 seconds, we are using this formula ut plus half at square. This is what it is, a total distance traveled by the body in its complete journey. That means in total time. For suppose they are asking, we are dividing the time like 0 to 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They are asking find the distance traveled by the body in fourth second. What is mean by this fourth second? From 0 to 1 is first second. From 1 to 2 is second, and 2 to 3 is third second. Like that in fourth second, nothing but what? From 3 to 4 it is fourth second. If they are asking sixth second is what? Sixth second, nothing but what? 5 to 6, that is sixth second, and this is 10th second. Okay, so in this particular time interval, if they are asking the distance traveled by the body, we are going to use the fourth equation of motion. To derive the fourth equation of motion, I am going to take the total time as n. Okay, so in time n seconds, not nth second, in time n seconds, distance traveled, what we can write? S is equals to un plus half an square. Same, in the place of t I am substituting n. Now our aim is to find what? In a particular time, unit time only we need to find. So unit time nothing but what? For suppose this is 10, n is 10. If we want to find out distance traveled in 1 second, what we can do? If I know the distance traveled in 9 seconds, so distance traveled in 10 seconds, for suppose 40 meter, distance traveled in 9 seconds is 38 meter. Then if I want to find out 9 to 10 seconds, what we can do? S10 minus S9, I am going to get 2 meters. That means we are going to find the distance traveled by the body in time n minus 1 seconds. Try to understand this carefully. So I want to find only in a particular second, either in fourth second or fifth second or sixth second. So from 0 to n, the total distance, for suppose I am getting into 10 seconds, it is traveling a distance of 40 meter, for suppose. To find out the distance traveled in 10th second, what we know compulsory? The distance traveled in 9 seconds. If we know the 9 second distance travel, from that S10 minus S9 if we are doing, we are going to get the distance traveled in a particular time. So in time n minus 1 second, distance traveled, right? So yes, this is Sn and this is Sn minus 1. So u into n minus 1 plus half a into n minus 1 whole square. Let us expand this. U into n minus 1 plus 1 by 2 a into this we can write n square plus 1 minus 2n. Why? In the format of a minus b whole square. So further we are going to write this as it is. So u into n minus 1 plus 1 by 2 an square plus a by 2 minus an. Let us take this is as 2. Now our aim is to find Sn minus Sn minus 1. Right. Sn un plus half an square minus un u into minus of minus plus u. Next minus half an square minus a by 2 plus an. So what is going to get cancelled here? So un plus of an square minus of an square get cancelled. So what is left here? U minus a by 2 plus an is left. This is what in particular second, that is snth. So after rewriting this, we are going to get u plus a into n minus 1 by 2 is the formula for distance traveled in nth second. So this expression is known to be fourth equation of motion. So this fourth equation of motion especially we are using to find the distance traveled by the body in a particular time interval. Okay na? So let us take one example related to this. So for suppose a car starts from rest, moving with acceleration 2 meter per second square. The total journey time is 10 seconds. They're asking find the distance traveled by body in 10 seconds and in 10th second. Right. So in 10 seconds directly we are going to get Sn is equals to, that means S10 total time, S10 ut plus half at square. So starts from rest, initial velocity 0, 0 into t plus half into acceleration is 2 into t square is 10 square. So we are going to get S10 will be 100 meters. So in total 10 seconds it travels a distance of 100. Now they are asking in 10th second. So in 10th second, nothing but particular time interval. So we are going to use the fourth equation, u plus a into n minus 1 by 2. Okay. So u value 0, a is 2 and n is 10 minus 1 by 2. So 2 into, this is LCM 19 by 2. This to get cancelled, therefore 19 meters is the distance travelled by the car in its 10th second. In a similar manner, you can find for in 4th second, in 6th second and in 8th second. So practice this, it will be make you perfect in doing these problems. Right. Next. Now again another method, second method, alternate method of deriving equations of motion. So I am using here integration and derivation. So integration method. Right. So we know that already the integration nothing but summing up. We need a formula, integration x to the power of n dx is equals to x to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1. If the limits are there from x1 to x2, we have to substitute the limit, upper limit minus lower limit. So right. So a we know that acceleration dv by dt. So if the object is moving from a particular point and reaches to another point with v, and u is the initial velocity, and starting from time t1 equals to 0 to t2 equals to in t, and with constant acceleration a, and distance will be s. Right. So I am going to write like this, a dt is equals to dv. Let us integrate this. So integrates on both sides. So we are deriving the equations of motion for uniform accelerating motion. If it is uniform accelerating motion, what is constant? Acceleration is constant. If acceleration is constant, we can keep in front of the integration. So a into dt integration dv. So limits, what are the limits? So lower limit is t1 equals to 0, upper limit is t2 equals to t, and initial velocity is u, final velocity is v. So integration dx equals to x, integration dy equals to y. In the similar manner, integration dt is t 0 to t, integration dv is v u to v. So substitute the limits, upper limit minus lower limit. So v minus u is equals to at, therefore at is equals to v minus u, v equals to u plus at is the first equation of motion we are deriving on the basis of integration. So method of integration we are using to derive the equation of motion. This is first equation of motion. Now let us go for the second equation of motion. So second equation of motion, to derive the second equation of motion, so again I am using a is equals to dv by dt, but the second equation of motion is helps to find out distance. So let us write the formula. S is equals to dv by dt, sorry, v equals to ds by dt, because the rate of change of velocity is equals to the rate of change of displacement is equals to velocity. So again we can write v dt equals to ds. So what are the limits of these? So limits of time interval. So before going to write the limits, let us substitute in the place of v as u plus at. So u plus at dt ds. Let us integrate on both sides within the time limits 0 to t, and the distance is 0 to s. So I am separating this u dt integration 0 to t plus a constant t dt 0 to t integration 0 to s ds. Okay, so integration u constant, initial velocity constant, integration dt is t, after substituting limit also t, plus a into integration t power 1 into dt is nothing but what, t to the power of n plus 1 by n plus 1, and the limits from 0 to t. So integration ds is s, after substituting limits also s itself. So ut plus, this is 1 plus 1, 1 by 2 t square, after substituting limits also same. So s, so s is equals to ut plus half at square is the second equation of motion we are deriving with the help of the integration. So then moving to the third equation of motion. To derive third equation of motion, I am taking help of a. A is equals to dv by dt. We can write a dt equals to dv. Okay, so a, what we can write, a is equals to, we need to eliminate this t value. So a is equals to v minus u by t, and t is equals to v minus u by a. Okay, so let us integrate this. We are not getting like this. Let us wait. V is equals to ds by dt, or in the place of t, what we can write in the place of t or dt, we are not getting that formula. Then what we are going to do this? So let us use integration method. What we have to use here? So third equation of motion we need to find. So to find third equation of motion, integration, so dt we can write a into integration dt and integration dv. So a into t, integration v, nothing but v itself. What are the limits? u to v are the limits. So v minus u equals to a into t. So t value we can write v minus u by a, that is equals to v minus u. So a is getting cancelled, but we need of this s value is compulsory. So our ds is equals to v dt, we can write integration ds, so yes, v dt. So v value v dt, t value we can substitute as, we are not getting this. What is the mistake we did here? Is there any approach is different? Let us check it. A equals to dv by dt. So dv is equals to a into dt. So a is constant, integration dt. We are not approaching like this. Then what to do? So with the help of that only we are going to get. So wait, we will complete this. Third equation of motion. Yes, we need to find v square minus u square equals to 2as. We need to find, let us take, so acceleration a is equals to dv by dt, we can write. Let us write this dv by dt as dv by ds into ds by dt, we can write. Okay, no change in that expression, dv by dt. So this ds by dt gives v into dv by ds we are going to get. Okay, now let us, a into ds is equals to v dv. The displacement is from 0 to s and velocity is from u to v. So simple, I am writing this acceleration in terms of by dividing and multiplying with ds. So when I am dividing and multiplying with ds, because I need to find out the integration in terms of s and dv only, I need to eliminate this t value. That's why I am writing this dv by dt as dv by ds into ds by dt. This rate of change of displacement is known to be velocity. Therefore v into dv by ds we have. This is v and this is dv by ds. So a is constant, that's why writing in front of integration. So yes, and integration v dv nothing but v square by 2 limits u to v. Substitute here. So v square minus u square by 2 is equals to as Therefore, v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So this is the third equation of motion. So in this way we can derive the equations of motion with help of the integration. Right, thank you. Take care.